Hey everyone, welcome back to Noah's Room. So, as you know, it was recently Valentine's Day, and like any other single guy, I was just chilling in my room. I was browsing on YouTube when I came across some videos that presented a rather concerning problem.
Be honest with me, what's one race you would not date and why?
Asians. Asian? Maybe Asian. I don't know, Asian? Asian. Asian.
Asians? Why that?
I don't know, they're just like ugly.
Seeing this came as a pretty big shock to me, to say the least, but due to the nature of my thick skin, I handled it fairly well. It seems as though Asian American males are generally viewed as unattractive to the general public here in America. Recognizing this as a potential obstacle if I ever want to pursue interracial dating, I quickly researched some ways for Asian males to become more appealing to women. So, if you're an Asian American male between the ages of 3 to 55, you're probably wondering, Noah, how do I become more attractive? Well, I may just have the solution. Since it is rather unethical to physically alter your race, the path the average Asian American male can take to make themselves more attractive is pretty linear, splitting between two variants. The first is to adopt a soft boy style, akin to many popular K-pop stars that capture the hearts of millions if not billions worldwide. The alternative route is much different, with a more mature, edgier, and harder style, like K-pop stars. But given my background of attending UC Riverside, today we'll be tackling the style of an ABB, or an Asian baby boy, in hopes of becoming the favored race in the eyes of a woman. An ABB's clothes is pretty straightforward, with Adidas track pants and a tank top. If you don't have a tank top like me, you can just get a black t-shirt from Michaels and use your steroid-filled muscles to rip off the arm sleeves. Next is the hair. They say both the ABB's soul and social media reputation are powered through their hairstyle, so I'll be going with the classic middle part look. Other acceptable hairstyles include a comb-over fade, undercut with comb-over, perm with a comb-over, or bald. Very necessary if you want to separate yourself from other Asians. Now comes the fun part, putting on some manly accessories. I put on some thin chains, a sweet bracelet, and a pimp ring to hopefully distract people from looking at my face. A common ABB attribute includes some sick-ass tattoos as well. So I ordered some of my favorites off Amazon and I placed them all around my body to hopefully catch some attention. To top it off, every ABB needs a small cross earring, presumably due to their obsession with the Lord. Naturally, I got one in size large to demonstrate my close affinity to Jesus Christ. In you, O Lord, I have taken refuge. Let me never be put to shame. Deliver me in your righteousness. Then slap on a quick nose ring and you got yourself a pretty convincing look. But it doesn't stop there, as it is time to construct your ABB personality. A common theme seems to be the obvious obsession with wealth, but since I have no money, I made my own Supreme sticker, gathered 12 $1 bills, and took photos of them to post on my Instagram story to make sure people know that I am in fact rich. It is also a known stereotype that ABBs are required to be into various vapes and smokes. That's why over the course of making this video, I developed a serious nicotine addiction. Now, if you're following this tutorial up until this point, look yourself in the mirror and what do you see? Do you see just another typical Asian male with low confidence and incapable of interracial dating? Or do you look like me? But to prove my tutorial is 100% flawless, I needed the ultimate test to see how my hard ABB style would fare against actual women. So, I gathered the Thunderbirds and we headed to the mall to ask people whether or not I was in fact attractive. But nobody wanted to be interviewed, so we ended up going to the park instead. There we met this nice couple named Sarah and John. Prior to the interview, I asked them for a comment about the appeal of Asian Americans in the US. Mistakenly, they asked if we were interviewing people to comment about the attacks on Asian Americans that have been happening recently. But because we were all cowards, of course we said yes, which is why you see me ask them this first. I just wanted to ask, what were your opinions on those attacks, do you think are Asian Americans, what should the response be in response to those attacks from other
Do you want to go first?
cities?
Based on all of the statistics that they said, like it's just not right. There shouldn't be any like a
Disparity, is that what you're going
there
with?
shouldn't be like a disparity. Like nobody's better than everybody. Like everybody has some level of importance. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely not right.
I don't know. I think, I mean, I really can't speak to anything because I mean, the only discrimination I've had is as a woman in a science field. But, and even then, it's not the same level. It's not. But being married to him, it sort of made me think about it because his mom's full-blooded Filipino, and she lives in South Carolina, which is not the most tolerant of states, and so it does make me nervous about her. Especially she works in the service industry, and I get nervous for her, you know what I mean? And I can't really do anything about it, and she would never tell us if something happened to her just because of the way she is. But it is frustrating to see it happen and feel like I can't really do anything, mainly because I haven't seen it happen in person, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then as far as our personal relationship, there have been comments in the past, but never anything like physical or anything like that. It's sad to me, you know what I mean? That somebody could value somebody else higher or lower depending on what their skin tone is or where they were born or where they grew up. I just think it's incredibly depressing that we can't just look at each other as human beings, and that it's taken it this long to become more of a visible issue, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And with everything that happened over the summer with Black Lives Matter and everything, I think it does need to be also addressed that there are other issues going on as well, and not to just single it out to that group.
Yeah, those are very sound responses. Thank you so much. I do have one other question. It's just like for fun. It's do you think this look is attractive at all?
I mean, the hype beast mentality is not my favorite in the world, just because I'm a woman and I am a sneakerhead, and it makes it very difficult for me to get things sometimes. But I mean, it's your style, man. If you want to wear what you want to wear it. Be happy.
Right.
Be proud of it.
Thank you. And do you think I'm attractive?
I mean, I respect it.
Sarah and John might have not thought that I was attractive, but the response to the attacks felt genuine. Admittedly, taking advantage of these attacks just to ease into a dumb question about appearances made us all feel really guilty, and we ended up leaving it only after one interview. In the grand scheme of things, trying to get girls like these,
I don't know, they're just like ugly,
are minimal compared to everything happening to Asian Americans as a whole. So maybe we should aim to solve that problem first before going into simping. To end things off, after we left the park, me and the Thunder Buddies went to go get boba, and I did manage to ask the cashier this before we left. I have a question. Do you think I look attractive at all with this?
The cross is a little bit questionable, but the rest of your outfit is
Okay, thank you. Yeah. And to me, that was more than enough. Yes.